Hi everyone, here's a quick video which I'm just about to pump out nice and quickly here. It's a question which came up on the Dom Bauer Photography Facebook page here from Chris Advil Photog. And he's put up a very, very good question which many of you may also think about the same thing. So what we'll do is I'll put it on the screen and we'll read it out and we'll go over it. So Chris on the Facebook page says Dom and community, because on the Dom Bauer Photography Facebook page it's all about kind of people giving good tips and critiques and all that kind of stuff, not just great photos, yeah, whatever. It's more about actually giving some good advice. If somebody puts up a crap photo, we will rip it to shreds, we promise you. Don't put up any crap photos because I'll just block you if you do it intentionally. Anyway, he goes on, he says, why do... Kim? Burglar? Okay, so anyway, back to where I was. He said, Chris says, Dom and community, why do the ones who throw around their experience in the photography industry and you look at their portfolios and they seem blur? 10, 20, 30 plus years of experience. I see these guys throw around their numbers of years of experience around like they mean anything to anyone or something to someone. It may mean something if they had a great portfolio, but these guys who do this have very little quality portfolios. Well, potentially that may be the point, that because their portfolios are a bit pump, that they're having to kind of bolster their status by claiming the number of years of experience that they've got. Anyway, you go on. For some reason, but they have very little quality portfolios for some reason. And I hate it when guys like me who lack experience have better portfolios than them. Please explain why. For some reason, I need to compete against these guys for local markets, but I don't understand why they even have any business with their portfolios. Okay, great point there, Chris. Okay, once again, what I will mention that I've said before in the past is that the most successful photographers, the most profitable photographers may not in any way be any good at photography. To be a successful photographer, you have to be a fantastic businessman, business person. You have to be a great salesperson and business person. Like, again, somebody put a comment on here about, should we try out the Gary Fong stuff? I'm not a big fan of Gary Fong's photography either, and his stuff that he sells, lots of people buy that stuff. Would I buy it? No, because I know it's just guff that you sell to amateurs. Well, sorry if any of you have bought Gary Fong stuff and think it's all great. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's fantastic. However, there's not a chance I'm ever going to spend my money on his spheres and his domes and stuff like that. So, but that's just a different kind of thing here. But what I would say is that the Gary Fongs of this world are fantastic businessmen. They are very good businessmen and salespeople, and they're able to get people, and they're also very approachable people. That's what you really want to be. They want to be people where their customers feel very comfortable in approaching them and saying, hi, can I do this? Can you do that? Can I help here? And that's where, they'll say, I'm sure it's something like 90 or 10% skill, 90%, 10% skill, 9% perspiration. I can't remember what the old saying or phrase is, but it's something like, to be a successful photographer, you only need to be a tiny bit of photography knowledge, and then the rest is all about salesmen and business and all that kind of stuff. That can be said about many, many jobs in the world. You know, you could say you are the best TV presenter. You may not know anything about the TV shows that you watch, but as long as you... No, that's a pretty crap example. Okay, I need some other examples here. Put them down below if you can think of any. But yeah, okay, so what I'll be saying here is, so Chris, what I say is that the people who are like, blah, 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 I've been running the industry for 30 years, they will be saying that because the fact is that that 30 years is the, ooh, you must know ooh and A and B and C. Because people will be looking at their experience, not necessarily their quality. And in photography, it's a funny kind of situation where a lot of the time you're dealing with customers who want to know what they're dealing with before they get the product. So half of the job in photography is dealing with the client, not just delivering images. So yeah, you may create the most amazing photos in the world, but unless you've got a whole bunch of years of experience of knowing people in the industry, knowing creative people, knowing makeup artists and models and agencies, then you don't really know anyone. And you're just kind of a figure that can do stuff. Again, I'm really trying to think of other examples like in the business world that would kind of equate to this, but I can't really think of anything. But yeah, so experience is highly important to be a successful photographer. The experience that people gain over the years of experience that they've got is not necessarily in creating better photos, but it's in the learning of the ability to deal with people, gain contacts. You know, so if for some reason shit hits the fan and a model pulls out or a makeup artist has a car crash on the way to a shoot or something like that, or the dress falls apart or something like that, an experienced photographer is almost like a producer of a film. He will go, hold on a minute, on the phone, right, new model agency, sort this person out, bring them here, 10 minutes, okay, I'll organise that, I'll sort that out. So the whole job of a photographer is sorting stuff out, unless of course you have a creative engineer or a creative manager somewhere like that does all that for you, and then you really are just a photographer hire that way. But yeah, so in generally, experience comes with the benefit of knowing that if something goes wrong, that whoop-de-doo, they should have the experience to sort stuff out. But, you know, so you could say that 20 years of experience of being a landscape photographer, whoa, big deal. You know how to walk up hills, you know how to go up hills at the right time of year. But if you're 20 years of being a fashion photographer, a modelling photographer, a glamour photographer, oh, that's 20 years of awesome experience that you really want to kind of go respect. And it may just be that on their portfolio they can't put the stuff which is their most bestest stuff, because the photos that they may have done which are so awesome will be owned by the agency that they work for, or it may be stuff which they don't, although they took the photos, those photos are owned by certain other people and all that kind of stuff. So don't necessarily just go by portfolio. And again, and I say that another way of, some people can have the most amazing portfolio but be crap photographers. You know, luck of the draw. Again, that's not, yes, I have had 2 beers tonight, that's why I can't quite remember everything. But again, being a lucky photographer doesn't make you a good photographer. You may have 10 amazing, awesome photos, but doesn't mean that you're a good photographer. It just means you're lucky in the right place and you got the right settings. So, it's a long story, and I see Peter Ford has already put some chat on it as well. Hopefully, more of you can add some stuff to this and in the details down below. So go for it. But that's just my little tips, is that experience doesn't necessarily mean better photos, but it means the ability to deal with shit if it hits the fan, and more something with the customer, more mental security with the customer, because they know that you've got the experience to deal with whatever might turn up. Something like that. Okay, so Chris, hope that really, really, really long answer helps explain stuff for you. Cheers, bye-bye.